it's Maria Felix-Vaz here with your weekly recipe feature for Envision Talking Newspaper. Now, last week, from a request from Mike, who works here, I promised you that I'd give you the recipe for a traditional Christmas cake because, yes, it is getting that time where if you make your cake now, then once a week for the next month before you marzipan and ice it, then you can douse it with brandy every week. Now, this is quite a detailed, long recipe, so as usual, I'll give you the recipe, the ingredients, how you make it, but do be prepared to stop and start the recording as you work through the various stages of making it. So for your ingredients for this Christmas cake, you'll need 200 grams of currants, 200 grams of stoned raisins chopped up, and 200 grams of sultanas. You also need 50 to 100 grams of glacé cherries, cut them in half, and also 50 to 100 grams of mixed peel, 50 grams of chopped almonds, finely grated rind of 1 lemon and 1 orange. And then for the cake bit, you need 225 grams of plain flour, 1 5 milliliter spoon of mixed spices, 225 grams of soft butter, 225 grams of soft brown sugar, and 15 milliliter, that's 1 big dessert spoon of black treacle. You also need 4 large whisked up eggs. And also you need 1 to 2 tablespoons of brandy. So to make your Christmas cake, it actually requires you to start the day before by soaking the currants, raisins, sultanas and cherries and the mixed peel. Soak them, all the fruit, in a bowl with the brandy overnight. Then on the day you're ready to make it, what you need to do is align an 8-inch cake tin. That's quite a deep cake tin, or you can use 2. The whole idea of a Christmas cake is that it stays quite flat. So it's up to you whether you want to make it in 1 big cake or 2 separate tins. So then what you do is you preheat the oven to gas mark 2. That's all. That's a very low 150 degrees Celsius because you're baking the cake for 3 to 4 hours because of the fruit inside. First thing you need to do is you need to cream the treacle, the butter and the sugar and mix that all up until it's light and fluffy. And then add the whisked up eggs. Next, sieve in the flour and the spices. And finally, pour in the mixed fruit. Chop the almonds up, pour them in, and then grate the lemon and the orange rind and just gently mix all that together thoroughly. Now, this is really important. What you then need to do is just take a minute to smell the lovely flavours. And then if you've got people in your family, because people don't bother with making Christmas puddings anymore, let them stir the cake instead and make a wish. And then add the mix to your fully lined cake tins. And when you do this, make a hollow in the centre so it rises up flat and pop it into the oven. When it's ready, leave it to cool in the tin before turning it out on a wire rack to cool completely. And then prick the surface of the cake and pour brandy over it. You're going to be doing that every single week. So I will be reminding you to do that. But for now, once you've done your cake and you've added this week's brandy, then wrap it in a lining paper and then in tin foil and store it in a cake tin and try and avoid eating it when you're hungry. So next week will be the turn of another recipe. I think another recipe for Christmas. Until then, happy cake making.